do for the lightning round, but before we start bringing speakers up, I did want to go over just a couple more things for your basic needs. As Chris mentioned, coffee donuts over here. Please help yourself. We're happy to provide those. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of other food here on premise. So there is the Cherry Blossom Festival, as you all probably saw, and I've got an app on my phone called Food Truck Fiesta, and I was able to track a lot of the food trucks. Saw a lot of them out there last night, and if you go on this side up, I don't know what direction, I think that's northwest or east. Just a few blocks away, you'll get into some nice restaurants. So please take care of yourself throughout the day. And restrooms, over here is men's, on this side is women's, and then one floor up as well. Those are the areas that we have access to for this weekend, those areas. I do want to point out 2 conference rooms that you have available to you. Kind of at the end of these areas on both sides, there's 2 really nice conference rooms if you need to kind of get away and have some space. There's big screen projectors that you can plug your laptops into and be able to project on those screens, and they're on a first come, first served basis. If there's some competition, we'll figure that out, but feel free to expand into those rooms. What else? Oh, okay. Yeah, so no other housekeeping, right? The restrooms? Yeah, okay. Well, any questions, let us know, and then
yeah, so just real quick, so we, at the 11th hour, we had the pleasure of co-hosting our event with the wonderful folks at OpenStreetMap. How many folks are from OpenStreetMap? Or so it's awesome, awesome. So that's a much bigger effort going on underway, but when we heard that they were mapping rec data, we said, well, geez, we should definitely co-host the DC Mapathon. So for those of you interested in that activity, they're going to actually be doing some field mapping exercises, and I don't know, maybe you guys could map the food trucks or something like that. Oh, okay, yeah, that's I guess I'd make it challenging. Did you guys want to introduce your project now, or do you guys want to do it at the end of the lightning?
You ready, Brad?
Meet you in the middle. Or do you want to come on?
Can you all hear me now? I'm Brian DeRocher. I'm representing OpenStreetMap. Across the nation, there are other groups having hackathons or mapathons, and they're also focusing on the great outdoors. Later on today, we're going to do some activities. We're going to go out on the streets. We got 12 parks around the area. We're going to capture amenities like water fountains, bathrooms, lighting. Can you bring your dog? And then bring it back here and get that data entered into OpenStreetMap for use in applications.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. If you haven't seen, I guess, a crowdsourced map action before, this would be a great opportunity. And Mikkel, by the way, in the corner here is one of, he's also a Presidential Innovation Fellow. Super fantastic guy, so anything you want to know about OpenStreetMap, don't hesitate to hunt him down.
Okay, the first up for the lightning rounds is going to be Dan Parker on the RIDB. That's a Recreation Information Database. It's really an aggregator for all federal recreation. And take it away.
Thanks, Janelle. Spirit of the lightning round, 1 minute, 2 minutes. I'm going to see if I can set the pace. As Janelle mentioned, the RIDB stands for Recreation Information Database. We're a data provider, data source for federal recreation lands. We've got recreation areas, facilities, campgrounds, permit entrances, and tours. It's a pretty exciting time for the RIDB. We just went live with our RESTful API just a month ago, so that's going to be one of the data sources that's available for you to be able to use today. To be able to get to the RIDB on the MyAmericaDeveloperSummit webpage, we have a data sources section, and the RIDB is listed in there. So there's a link to our online documentation. It's over in GitHub. It gives you a full layout of all of the resources that are available in the API. We've got a data dictionary, we've got an ERD, all of the resources and example responses are in there. If you're not real savvy with APIs, on that documentation page we have information to be able to download the entire RIDB data set in one data download. You can do a package of either JSON format, or we even have a CSV export in case you wanted to import directly into Excel or Access. All that documentation is out there. The biggest piece of documentation we have available to you this weekend is the RIDBY crew. We have Stu Gregory from the Forest Service over here, never mind waiting. He knows the business side, he knows the data, and then on the technical team we have Sean Lewison and myself. We know the API, we know the data set, we know the data dictionary. So please don't hesitate to reach out to us. The feedback has been phenomenal. We had some public beta testing, and based on that feedback, we made some improvements to the API before it even went live. We want to hear your feedback, good or bad, so that we can make it even better. Thank you much.
Okay, next up is Jeremy Montour with Trail Labs.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeremy Monteau. I'm the CTO of a little company called Trailhead Labs, and we focus entirely on providing infrastructure for parks and recs to get their data out to developers and therefore park visitors. I'm here today to focus mainly on Open Trails, which is an open data standard that was designed specifically for parks and recreation agencies at all levels of government to publish their data, primarily trails data, in a way that's accessible to the developer community. So it looks like sort of a modern data standard, GeoJSON, CSV. It's very simple. We're sort of following in the footsteps of another famous data standard called GTFS, which was very sort of successful on the transit side of things. And so we've got a couple of sessions proposed here around open trails and open data for Parks and Rec. A lot of good ideas around data collection. Well, it looks like my slides came up. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, what's exciting about Open Trails for us is it was designed specifically with the citizen experience in mind. So this is really all about getting park visitors the data they need to have a safe and good experience outside. So yeah, come talk to me if you have questions about Open Trails specifically or anything sort of open data related. We're also sort of sitting in between the OSM and the sort of other open data communities because we have integrated Open Trails with OSM. Open Trails was designed also with OSM in mind because it is a very successful open data platform, and there is a lot of parks and recreation information in it. And so we've been working with parks and recreation agencies over the years on ways for how they can get their data into OSM, how they can potentially use OSM data. And I think there's going to be a lot of exciting stuff happening here around that as well. I know Jim from NPS is going to talk about some really exciting stuff they do with OSM. So I won't take any more of your time. Please come talk to me about Open Trails. Thanks.
Exciting project so far. There's just a couple more things I wanted to mention while we bring up the next person. Chris, do you have a name for me?
Yes.
I do want to mention, so these lanyards are really your entrance in and out during the course of the weekend, so hang on to those. It'll just make it easier for you to get through security. And we are going to be taking pictures and some video. We might come and capture maybe some conversations on video, get your pictures, and then we really encourage you to tweet throughout the weekend. Hashtag Deb4 outdoors, and we'll have that up. So the next presenter is...
So just to sort of explain how we're going to do this, we're going to just walk through the GitHub issue list. A number of you already put something in there. We know that not everyone is here, so we'll just go through the list, and then as folks are available and want to speak on a particular topic, just go ahead and come up. So I opened up some of the early ones. We're going to get to the NP map one in just a second, so I'm skipping ahead to number 5. This is Better Lottery System, proposed by MC McCoyne, I guess. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is anyone here to represent Better Lottery System? All right, if you are, just come up. We'll catch you later. Number 6, utilize census data for identifying communities of interest related to every kid in a park. Kat, do you want to talk about every kid in a park in general? And maybe we can use that as a kickoff.
Hi. I'm Kat, choreographer for the Department of Interior, and so Every Kid in a Park is a very exciting new initiative announced by President Obama in February. It's part of the 2016 National Park Service Centennial, so that's the 100-year anniversary of the National Park Service, and one of the things that we're using it for is to float all the boats of public lands. So it's actually not just about parks, but it's about all public lands and waters, so that's refuges, that's Forest Service lands, it's actually, I'm going to get in trouble because I don't have an exhaustive list here, but it's all public lands and waters. And so Every Kid in a Park is about engaging and connecting with nature for America's next generation of conservation stewards. So we have a target population of 4th graders, and we want to get every 4th grader in a park. Again, park is a loose term, it's all public lands. During their 4th grade year for the next couple of years. So that it turns out to be 4 million public school 4th graders, but then we also have private schools and homeschools. And so what it is it's a big kind of distribution, deployment, and verification challenge of trying to get kids to know that they have free admission to parks, that they actually can get there, and then figure out, fun, exciting things for them to do. So we have 2 main users. It's these 4th graders. We're trying to focus on a particular population of low-income urban 4th graders, because those we find are not getting out to our public lands as much as some other populations. And then also sort of the fee taker side. So then on the actual government side, making sure that whatever it is that we are creating can be processed on the back end by our the people at the toll booths when you get into parks or public lands. And so we've done some testing, we've done some with internal stakeholders. We also have kids and teachers and parents coming up. So it is a cool kind of iterative process, but what we really need is help figuring out what it is that we are going to do, right? And then also kind of the tertiary pieces, which could be about badging, it could be what parks have you visited, it could be, have you hiked and kayaked and done a leave no trace, activity or something. But there's a lot of different pieces to this that are that we can use digital tools for, and I would love to talk to you more about it if you have any questions.